Have you ever wondered how many women are walking through life without ever realizing just how extraordinarily attractive they truly are? And no, I'm not just talking about physical beauty. There's something much more powerful than that. I'm referring to a subtle distinctiveness, the way you move, the way you observe, the way you express emotion and simply exist, that can leave a man utterly bewildered, even if you yourself are unaware of it. The most interesting thing is that you often underestimate this allure. You believe that because you don't quite fit some pre-established standard of beauty, you couldn't possibly be that appealing. But what truly captivates us goes far beyond a slender waist or meticulously applied makeup. It's the unspoken confidence, the authentic individuality that can't be imitated, and the energy you radiate when you enter a room, even before you say a single word. Today, I want to reveal unmistakable signs that you are far more attractive than you think. And no matter how much men might try to hide it, we notice and we feel it deeply. Some of these signs are so subtle that you may have never realized their impact. But trust me, we notice. Don't miss the end of this video because the ninth sign is one of the most commonly overlooked by women, but for us, it's among the most irresistible. I assure you. Sign 1. He suddenly gets nervous around you. It might sound strange, and this is one of the truest yet most easily overlooked indicators. Often, when a guy seems awkward, avoids direct eye contact, or even looks a bit uncomfortable, you might assume he simply isn't interested. But the truth is just the opposite. He's drawn to you more than he can handle. Pay close attention. When a man is overwhelmed by a woman's allure, his body gives him away. He'll start doing things he normally wouldn't, touching his neck, adjusting his shirt, folding and unfolding his arms for no apparent reason, or speaking either faster or slower, afraid of making a mistake. Sometimes he'll even lapse into silence, unsure of what to say. And this isn't because he lacks confidence or character. It's because your presence throws him off balance. Some women possess not just physical attractiveness, but a unique energy that can unsettle even the most self-assured men. Your beauty, energy, and attitude can leave even experienced men breathless. What I'm saying is this: his nervousness is a powerful sign. If you notice that a usually relaxed man becomes tense, changes his mannerisms, or seems more focused on what he's doing rather than what he's saying when you're around, believe me, you're having a profound effect. And most importantly, don't dim your light just to make him feel more comfortable. On the contrary, embrace your power. Because if a man gets nervous around you, it's because he sees you as worth far more than just a trivial conversation. Sign 2. People's eyes linger on you, not just once. This might seem ordinary, but believe me, it's actually one of the most powerful and least noticed indicators of your allure. When a woman possesses genuine magnetic energy, even if she's not intentionally seeking attention, the space around her acknowledges it. You might simply be walking down the street, stopping by a cafe, or standing in line somewhere. From our perspective, there's something about you that demands a glance. But what truly speaks volumes isn't the first look. What matters is the second look, the one where someone has already passed you by, but then turns back for another glance. Do you know what that means? It means there's something about you that lingers, something that can't be satisfied with a fleeting glimpse. That second look is the most honest way someone, man, or even other women, confirms that there's something special radiating from you. And it has nothing to do with whether you're dressed to impress or have impeccable makeup. Sometimes it's just the way you walk, your confident posture, or a peaceful but captivating energy. It's not something you have to try hard to exhibit, but it's undeniably palpable. True allure doesn't need to be declared, it's felt. Many women don't notice this simply because they're busy with their own thoughts, looking at their phone, or just focused on getting where they need to go. But if you've ever noticed someone look at you twice without saying a word, believe me, that's an unmistakable sign you possess something influential, something hard to explain, but impossible to ignore. And yes, sometimes we want to say something, but that second look says more than we could ever put into words. Sign 3. You underestimate yourself, yet receive constant compliments. This is one of the clearest, yet most paradoxical signs that you're more attractive than you realize. Have you ever had this experience? On a day when you feel anything but outstanding or confident, someone unexpectedly tells you that you look amazing, or you receive comments like, "I can't even explain it, but there's something about you that's so captivating." That's not random. That's a glaring indicator that you're emitting an energy that draws others in, even when you're completely unaware of it. This is especially common among authentic women who aren't obsessed with being perfect, yet subconsciously awaken something in those around them. Maybe you think your hair isn't cooperating, your figure isn't ideal, or your outfit is nothing special. Yet the compliments still come. Why? Because your allure goes far beyond what you see in the mirror. From a man's perspective, we notice it. We may not always know how to put it into words, but we feel it. There's something in your voice, your conversation, your laughter, in the natural way you move through life that makes us think, this woman doesn't even know how deeply she affects those around her. And trust me, that's one of the most attractive things. The contrast between how you see yourself and how others see you only makes it more powerful. Because you're not trying to impress, you're not forcing anything. You're simply yourself. And that authenticity, combined with your natural feminine energy, creates an allure that's hard to explain, yet impossible to ignore. So next time someone tells you there's something special about you, instead of dismissing it, believe it. Because that something special is you, sign 4. He finds any excuse to be near you, even trivial ones. This is a classic sign that many women overlook. When a man is drawn to you but doesn't know how to approach directly, he'll start looking for any reason to interact. Often, these reasons revolve around trivial things that seem insignificant. He might ask for your help with something he could easily do himself, ask you to explain something, seek your advice, or request a minor favor. Outwardly, it all seems random and normal. But trust me, it's not random. We men, when attracted to a woman, will look for pretexts to start a conversation or get closer, without making it obvious that we're flirting. This especially happens when the woman makes us feel a bit intimidated, simply because we like her so much. We won't come right out and offer a compliment, but we'll show up and ask about the smallest thing, just for a chance to be near you. And it's not just once. If you notice this happening repeatedly, that person always finds a reason to text, call, approach, or be around you, even for the most trivial reasons. That's a clear sign. Because what they really want isn't what they're asking for. What really matters is the underlying intention. You often won't notice this. It seems ordinary, maybe even a bit cute. But if you look closely, you'll realize those small requests are just an excuse for something bigger. The desire to be near you, to connect with you, to get your attention. So next time someone asks for help with something they could easily handle themselves, pay attention. See if it comes with a bashful smile, a different tone, or a meaningful look. Because sometimes a simple, "Hey, how do you do this?" usually means, "I don't know how to talk to you, but I want to be near you." Sign 5. Other women suddenly criticize or act negatively towards you for no clear reason. It may not feel pleasant, but this is a strikingly clear sign, even if it's uncomfortable to experience. Sources say that when a woman is truly attractive, not just in physical appearance, but in energy, presence, and the way she shows up, not everyone around her will react positively. The important thing to understand is that these baseless criticisms are not about you, but about how others feel when you're near. Your allure may force others, especially women feeling insecure about themselves, to scrutinize their own shortcomings more harshly. This can unwittingly trigger a negative response. Have you ever been called stuck up before you've even said a word? Or found someone trying to compete with you over something you couldn't care less about? Those are classic examples that your presence is having an impact. This doesn't mean all women are like this. Many will admire you, feel inspired, or want to connect with you. But when you start noticing unwarranted criticisms, dirty looks, or comments aimed at dulling your shine, don't take it personally or blame yourself. See it as a sign that you're shining much brighter than you think. Your energy, presence, and style can genuinely make insecure people uncomfortable. And while it's not fair, it's one of the clearest indicators that you're incredibly magnetic, even if you haven't fully realized it yet. Sign 6, strangers smile at you for no obvious reason. This may sound simple, but it's one of the subtlest and truest signs of your attractiveness. Have you ever found yourself walking down the street, in a supermarket, a restaurant, or sitting on public transport, and suddenly someone, especially a man, smiles at you for no apparent reason? They don't say anything. They don't know you. They're not trying to start a conversation. They just smile. Sometimes it's a shy, almost embarrassed smile when they realize you've noticed. Other times, it's a more confident, as if to say, wow, this woman radiates amazing energy. While it might seem trivial, that smile is a reflection of what you're emitting. According to sources, when a woman is truly captivating, and again, this isn't just about looks, her allure shines outward and is felt. There's something about the way you walk, the way you look, the way you simply exist that naturally draws people to you. That pull makes even strangers feel compelled to smile at you. It's like a silent greeting, a wordless crush. This isn't random. It's one of the most subtle but genuine signs your presence leaves an impression. A spontaneous smile can't be faked. It comes naturally as a direct response to the energy you radiate. So next time someone smiles at you for no obvious reason, don't brush it off. You might not be trying to get attention, but you're generating it naturally. That smile is clear evidence that your energy is positively affecting others, even in the most ordinary moments. Sign 7. Even men in relationships can't help but notice you. I know this may be a sensitive topic and not something you necessarily want, but it needs to be stated honestly. When a woman is truly magnetic, her energy doesn't go unnoticed. And sometimes even men in committed relationships find it difficult to look away. This doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong or seeking attention. It just happens, and more often than you realize. You may be at a social gathering, walking down the street, or sitting in a cafe, and suddenly you catch that lingering look, a gaze that lasts just a little longer than it should from someone you know is taken. They'll usually try to hide it, knowing they shouldn't, but their body language betrays them, because attraction can't always be controlled, especially when it's triggered by something deeper than appearances, something tangible. The important thing to remember is, you didn't ask for those looks. It's simply your presence, your essence, the way you exist. You needn't feel uncomfortable or worse, guilty. On the contrary, it's proof that your feminine energy is strong, magnetic, and impossible to ignore, even for those who shouldn't be paying attention. So next time you catch a prolonged glance from a man who's already attached, just remember, it may not be welcome, but it's a testament to your natural, powerful allure. Sign 8. You receive a lot of attention on social media, even without showing off. This is something men notice, but women often don't fully realize. You might post a completely ordinary photo, not posing, not dressed provocatively, not trying to attract attention, but the messages flood in, the likes skyrocket, and reactions pour in. You might wonder, what's so special about this picture? But the real issue isn't with the photo, it's with you. When a woman is truly magnetic, she doesn't need to show off to create an impact. The real attraction is not just what's visible, but what's conveyed. Sources emphasize your authenticity, your gaze, your natural presence. All these things together create a vibe that cuts through even a phone or computer screen. And believe me, men sense it. Sometimes we're even intimidated, unsure how to handle such refined feminine energy. The most interesting thing is that many of you don't even notice it. You think you need to do more, to show more, to create a more curated online image. But your true power lies in your natural presence. It doesn't matter if you're in a plain t-shirt, makeup-free, or just sharing everyday moments. The attention you receive effortlessly is one of the clearest signs you're far more attractive than you think. Sign 9. Men get confused around you. This is one of the clearest yet most misunderstood signs. Surely you've experienced this. A man treats you with care, seems very interested, goes out of his way to talk to you, compliments you, and then suddenly, as if nothing happened, he disappears or keeps his distance. Then a few days later, he's back as if nothing ever happened. Confusing, right? You wonder if he's playing games or what he really wants. But the truth, according to sources, is that he's often not playing at all. He's struggling with his feelings. Because when a man is truly attracted to a woman, especially when he senses she's special, that attraction can be overwhelming. He may feel threatened, unsure what to say or do, so he distances himself, not because he doesn't care, but because he cares too much. Here's the key. You might think he's not interested, when in reality, he's simply trying to figure out how to approach you without revealing too much of himself. Some men run because they feel they're not good enough. Others come back when they've worked up the courage. But in both cases, they're revealing the same thing. There's something about you that unsettles them. So next time a man keeps his distance for no clear reason and then returns as if nothing happened, pay attention. It's not always emotional confusion. Sometimes it's just pure attraction. He simply doesn't know how to handle it. Sign 10, you don't realize your own power. This is the most powerful sign of all. One thing that happens more often than you think is that the most attractive women are often the least aware of or believe in their own magnetism. They move through life doubting themselves, comparing themselves to others, wondering if they measure up, when in fact, they're the ones making the real difference. And trust me, from a man's perspective, it's obvious. It shows when you walk into a room without trying to attract attention, but you do it anyway. It shows when you speak simply, not trying to impress, yet end up impressing more than anyone else. Do you know why? Because you're not trying. You're simply being yourself. And when a woman lives in that authenticity, it brings an extraordinary power. However, the key is that until you recognize it, that power remains half hidden. It's like a light shining behind a curtain. When you start to recognize your own value, not out of arrogance, but from a calm certainty about your self-worth, something changes. Your body language, your energy, your eyes, everything is in harmony. And believe me, it's felt. It's felt from a distance. So if any part of you still doubts the energy you're giving off, remember this. Your power doesn't begin when others notice it. It begins when you accept it. Sign 11. Your absence is noticed even more than your presence. Some women immediately capture attention when they walk into a room. But for others, and you may be one of them, their absence is even more noticeable than their presence. It's as if something fades in the air as soon as they leave. That warm energy, that effortless flow you bring, suddenly vanishes. And sources say, we sense it. Maybe no one says it aloud, maybe you don't realize it yourself. But believe me, when a woman is truly magnetic, it's not just about what she shows. It's about what she makes others feel. And when that presence is gone, the contrast becomes clear. The conversation changes, the energy cools, and although we may not know why, we find ourselves thinking about you. That's what makes you unforgettable, because you don't just come and go. You linger in people's memories, their feelings, their thoughts. Sometimes without trying, sometimes without even knowing. So if you've ever noticed someone looking after you as you leave, or if someone texts you later saying, hey, did you just leave? Don't overlook it. It's another way of saying, your presence moved me. And that's something you can't fake. It's something you naturally carry. Sign 12. Silence with you isn't awkward. It's electric. Listen carefully to this, because very few women notice. But we men absolutely feel it. When a woman is truly magnetic, she doesn't need to fill every second with words. Her very presence creates a powerful, enveloping energy, so much so that even silence becomes charged. Have you ever been with someone, and in a moment of silence, he isn't restless, distracted, or checking his phone? He's just there with you, as if nothing else is needed. According to sources, that's not a coincidence. It's pure allure. It's not that he doesn't know what to say. He's processing what he feels about you. He may not show it, but inside he's wondering, why do I feel so good just looking at her? Or, how can one person affect me so much without even saying a word? That comfort in silence, that effortless intensity, can only be created by someone whose allure goes far beyond the physical. A woman who radiates serenity, depth, and mystery, who says so much, even without a word. So if you notice moments of quiet between you and a man, but he doesn't leave, doesn't seem uncomfortable, doesn't rush to change the subject, it's because your energy is speaking for you. And when that happens, trust me, you've captivated him without even trying. We've seen how this energy manifests itself through very real signs, sometimes without you even trying, sometimes when you don't even realize. It makes men nervous or confused around you. It makes people look back at you for a second glance. It brings you compliments even when you feel insecure. It prompts men to find any excuse, even the smallest, to be close to you. It can even make some insecure women feel uneasy or criticize you for no reason. It makes strangers smile at you spontaneously. It brings you unusual attention on social media, even when you're not performing. It makes your absence more notable than your presence. And even it transforms silence with you from awkwardness into electricity. Sign 10, you're not realizing your own power, is seen as the most powerful sign of all. Sources point out that it's precisely your self-doubt, your comparisons, and your lack of effort to impress that highlight your authenticity and create extraordinary power. However, until you recognize this, that power remains half hidden. The most important thing is this: start recognizing your true worth and power. This doesn't come from arrogance, but from a calm, unshakable certainty in your own value. Sources emphasize that your power doesn't begin when others see it. It begins when you accept it.